Hey guys, Chaos Elite here. As promised, I'm going to be doing a review of the Razer Onza Tournament Edition. Okay, a little background story about myself. If you guys, most of you should know, I play exclusively PC games, but I didn't always play PC games. I played PS3 for quite a while, and I got used to or accustomed to playing with a controller. When I switched over to PC games, I tried playing with a keyboard and mouse, and it just wasn't working out for me. I just feel it more comfortable playing with a controller, even on PC. I use a keyboard and mouse to play MMOs, stuff like that. But first-person shooters like Battlefield 3 and Medal of Honor Warfighter, even simple action adventure games like uh, Assassin's Creed and Hitman and stuff like that, I still use a controller. So, I've had this controller for about 3 months now, and it's a decent controller. Okay, it's got the mechanical buttons. Okay, and you can hear them clicking. Maybe I can get closer to my mic. I don't know if you can hear it or not. So it's got the mechanical buttons, which is nice. They are hyper response, like these. These color buttons here. They're called hyper response buttons, and from what I've heard, they have the same response time as the Black Widow keyboard keys, which is about 1 millisecond. Whether that's right or not, I don't know. Um, and then you got the there is the second or third button up here, which is a programmable button, so you can basically program it to anything that's on here. And you do that by using these switches back here, so you can program it to basically any button on the controller, which is nice. But the only problem is that you see how they're really close to the LB and RB buttons here. It's very easy to make a mistake, and you go to throw a grenade and you click this and nothing's happening, and you end up dying because you didn't throw that grenade or whatever. So what I did to alleviate that is I just programmed these two buttons to work as these two buttons, so I can hit either one and both work the same way. The trigger has a pretty decent curve to it. Some people have complained about that and how it hinders their gameplay and stuff like that. But for me, I just gotten used to it, so it really doesn't bother me any. And then you got the D-pad, which has just 4 individual buttons. Okay, it's not like a regular D-pad, which is all one circle that you can move around. For me, it's not a big deal because I don't play things like fighting games and Street Fighter and stuff like that. I just basically use it to change kits or change from ammo kit to my C4 or whatever in Battlefield 3. But I know for people who play fighting games, they like to run their thumb along the D-pad so that they can do their combos and stuff. So for that, this is a pretty poor design flaw in that sense, because you can do it for a little while, but after a while those keys start to get in the way and they rub against your thumb really bad, and I would assume that your thumb becomes pretty raw. So it's got the it's got a rubber finish, which is nice. You get a good grip on it. It's a very comfortable holding controller. It's not. It seems very ergonomic. It's just like a regular Xbox 360 controller, if you've ever used one. Now, the thing that I like least about the controller, which is, I don't know if you guys can see it, but this little groove thing right underneath the thumb pad. This is to adjust the resistance of the control stick. So in other words, you twist it down and it makes it tighter so you have better control. It works to that sense, but the issue is that there is a spring inside here when you twist this, and that spring will eventually come loose and hinder the movement of the controller. You'll still be able to move the controller, but what happens is, or what happened to me anyways, is that you'll start ghosting in a certain direction, either left, right, forward, back, or God forbid, diagonally. I've heard that story. So yeah, what happened to me was my character, when I started this was like, I don't know, 3 weeks, maybe a month ago. My characters in my game, whatever game I was playing, they would start ghosting backwards. I would not touch this controller at all, and all of a sudden my character would just start moving backwards. So I already made my first controller. This is actually my second Onza Tournament. They wouldn't replace it with something better, like the Sabertooth, whatever. So I had to get this again. And it's a better, it's obviously new, so it's working the way it's supposed to be. But I'm already having issues with this right controller now, where it just is tight on its own. I haven't used. I'm not twisting these knobs at all now. I've learned my lesson not to twist these knobs, because eventually, if I do that, the springs will break. But I haven't twisted this knob at all, and it already feels like it's tighter than it should be. If I move it around a little bit and loosen it up, it gets better. But if it's cold and I start playing, then this is really tight. So, anyways, that was the twisting knobby thing, whatever you want to call it, was a poor design flaw in Razer's, on Razer. It's a good concept to have that, to be able to add and take off resistance, especially if you playing a driving game. You want to have a little extra resistance so you don't turn too hard or whatever. So it's a great concept, but it was poorly designed. So that definitely hinders the value or the greatness of the controller, or what it could have been. So anyways, I'm gonna show you guys some gameplay. Show you actually what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna plug it in so you guys can see what it looks like all lit up. And then I'm gonna show you some gameplay so you guys can see it in action. So there it is, all lit up. Nice backlit keys right there. Okay. Show you some gameplay. Show you me using the controller. Now I know that the majority is that keyboard and mouse is superior to a controller. For me, I mean, I'm not here to argue that fact. Trust me, I'm not. I'm just simply doing a review of the controller. But I know that I'm sure there's going to be comments that keyboard and mouse is superior, which for the most part it is. But for me and my playstyle, my personal opinion and preference is a controller is best. I just have not. I don't know if it's hand-eye coordination or what it is, but I just cannot get the keyboard and mouse down. So, anyways, I'm gonna, there's gonna be a window of the gameplay and then of the controller, and I'll be back with my final thoughts. Ooh. Really? Dang it. Should have been a death right there easily. Oh, where you guys come from? Oh, down low anyways. Got one of them. As you can see though, the controller performs fairly well. I mean, obviously, look at it's not going to outdo a keyboard and mouse. Not every time. But for the most part, it should. Should work just fine. Damn! Guy gets me with that every time. You'd do a lot better if I had a decent team with me. I'll tell you that much. Alright, moving back over to give you my final thoughts.
Damn it, it's over. We lost the mission.
Okay, well, hopefully you guys enjoyed the gameplay. So the Onza is a great controller overall. It's if you know, and that's if you get a good one off the line. Again, these knobs just are not designed correctly. It's a poor design. So you know, Razer missed the mark on that, and I know that they've recently come out with a new Sabertooth, which is supposed to have digital resistance adjustment instead of, you know, the analog, or if you want to call it analog, knob twisting adjustment. So I've heard that that's better. That the Sabertooth is already better. It's a better product than the Onza. So overall, with the mechanical buttons and the hyper response buttons, and you know, if you get a good one off the line, it's a decent controller. So overall, I give it a 6 out of 10. It's a good controller, but it's got poor design. So I will be getting a Sabertooth in the near future. So look for the review on that. I'll probably be doing that. I should be getting the Sabertooth towards the end of this month. I'm going to play with it for a little while. You know, probably like another 3 months or so, and you get some good gameplay out of it, and really give it give it a run. I don't like to just do, you know, open the box and give a review, because it's not practical. So look for that review. This should be coming up in the next few months. And you know, hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Remember to comment, rate, and subscribe. And if you want to see more videos like this, let us know by clicking the like button below. All right. So again, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later.